David Knight for Infowars.com. Yesterday we were reporting from the roadblock leading to the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge. It's a roadblock that was set up by the FBI and the state police several miles away from the refuge itself. They're not letting anyone in except people who live in the area. One of those people happened to come out, and we got some comments from him about what it was like to go through a checkpoint. He's got property that is on either side of the wildlife refuge, so he's having to go back and forth through these areas. This is what he had to say.
I've been out of the area.
Okay.
I'm an unbiased rancher.
Okay. But you've been going back and forth because you have land. You're allowed.
This is the first time I came back.
Okay. Okay.
Do you feel that the response from law enforcement has been a bit heavy-handed, or do you feel it's appropriate?
I can't give it.
You ever had the FBI point a gun at you before?
I've never had anybody point a gun at me before.
Did they point guns at you?
Can you describe for us again what you saw when you came to the checkpoint?
Well, I came through both checkpoints, but when we came up to the checkpoint, the man came on the loudspeaker and told us to stop and to get out and have our photo ID. And they approached us with guns at us.
Was there a sniper, did you notice?
Well, yeah, there was a guy sitting on top of a vehicle with a round. I would call it a sniper. I don't know what was out in the desert.
It must have been pretty alarming when you saw that.
We just don't expect it in our lives. We're Americans. I mean, I feel like I'm in Africa or something.
Yeah.
I've been in Africa and had checkpoints, and it's scary. You never know if you're getting through. Excuse me?
Did you feel like it was too much that's there, or do you think it's justified?
I'm neutral. This is a sensitive situation.
So did you hear what he had to say? It was like living in a banana republic, except in the banana republic, they didn't point guns at him. There were armed checkpoints, and he was very concerned about going through these armed checkpoints. But nothing like what he went through in his hometown in America. He's afraid to call it what it is, excessive, dictatorial, but he pointed out what actually happened. He doesn't want to draw conclusions. Why? Because that's what happens when you live in an authoritarian state. And that's the bigger issue. It's something that is far more dangerous than a gun literally pointed at his head. There is a gun pointed at his family, at his property, at his livelihood, and they are ready to pull the trigger on anybody who criticizes that.
We're in western United States. We're good people. We're easy to get along with. We don't create trouble. This is alarming. I mean, this isn't the attention we want. And we're stewards. My friends are good people. We run good ranches. We take care of the desert. We're making improvements. I mean, major steps to satisfy that part of the part of the people that are more liberal, more conservative. I'm talking about the ones that want to take care of the environment. Okay, we're making every effort we can to meet their needs as well as ours. We're not against each other.
He wants to stress that they're being good stewards of the land. They're trying to appease the environmentalists, but you have to understand, the environmentalism, even though there are people who really truly believe this, it's being used as a beard for the agenda of the federal government. Look at what happened in Nevada with the desert tortoise. They're telling everybody they have to take the Bundy's land, they have to run the ranchers out of business to protect the desert tortoise, which has basically disappeared from the time that Cliven Bundy was young. So there used to be tons of cattle from the 50-plus ranchers that were in the area coexisting with desert tortoise. You could see them all over the place. Now the cattle are gone. The desert tortoise are gone. They took 1,200 of the desert tortoise to their BLM refuge to protect them. Said, oh, we don't have enough money to feed them, so they euthanized them. That's what I mean. It's a beard. It's an agenda, just like we were going to talk to Tad Hopt about what's going on here with the logging industry. They want to run people off of the land. They want to lock it up. They don't want people in the cities to have access to these parks either.
The fact that somebody was killed out here, what do you think about it getting to that point?
That scares me. I mean, I can't believe that it couldn't have been negotiated. I just can't believe it. It's like a protest. You don't go and shoot. And so we don't know the truth. We really don't know the truth. We're hearing rumors from the people that sympathize. We don't know the truth, what happened. I hope it's on video or something. So we don't know really what happened.
Hopefully it gets out.
But there's no reason to violence. From what we talked to the ranchers, these guys were not trying to be violent from what we heard. That's just because we weren't here. This is secondhand information.
I can't believe it couldn't be resolved peacefully either. The governor said that it was costing them $5,500 a day, that they had to do something about that. I don't know where she got that figure from. Is that the price of extra hours for state police? Is that the lost ticket revenue when they're not on the highway writing tickets? I don't know, but is a man's life worth $5,500? Could they not have resolved this peacefully? We just had a situation in Texas where the sheriff quarantined a guy for 15 years because it was going to be a shootout. Couldn't they have let this go a little bit longer? No. The narrative that they're telling us is that these are dangerous people, that the communities were afraid of them. I guess that's maybe why 400 people were going to a meeting where they were going to speak. They were educating people. That's what the government is truly afraid of. They're truly afraid of people learning what they can do to stop this federal government that is out of control, that is destroying people's incomes, destroying their lives, making them dependent on the government, and whenever they feel like it, killing them as well. That's what they're really afraid of. They're afraid that people are going to come together, understand what their rights are, and act together to protect individual liberty. That's what they're really concerned about. Stay with us. I'm David Knight with Infowars.com. We'll be having more reports from here in Oregon.
Did you know that only 6 corporations control 90% of what millions of Americans see, hear, and read every single day? It's the illusion of choice. Think about it. The mainstream media is owned by only a handful of megacorporations with vested interests. But on the other hand, the internet is an interconnected network of billions of sources. So you can research information for yourself from multiple sources, or you can blindly accept what you hear or read in the mainstream media, never questioning what you are being told. This gives you a false sense of reality. I mean, do you actually know what you think you know? Or have you been programmed to accept someone else's version of events? Think about it. This is Darren McBreen, and I want you to break the matrix at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv and listen to The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on your mind.